Hey everyone, we're playing Loop Hero today. You can see that really all that I've done is turn on or change it from windowed to full screen. That's really the only change I've made here. High-res fonts? Oh, it's just legibility. Okay. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that there were... This just goes to show how little I know about things. I didn't know that there were fonts that were more dyslexia friendly. That's really cool. That's cool that they include that. Let's just get started. I've seen a little bit about this game to this point. I saw another streamer play a bit. Sorry, reading and talking are not my forte. So the stars in the sky are going out one by one, but no one notices it. No one can stop it. Racing to the last place where there is still hope. I need to make it before it is too late. That's cool art. The sounds of agony will quickly fade. The world will be destroyed. Even the memory of it will be gone. And even if there is absolutely no chance of bringing it all back, there will always be someone who is willing to do the impossible. In a place without space. So I'm assuming that just a stupid comment, but we obviously play this little guy with a sword as opposed to the cool floaty skeleton guy who would probably be more interesting to play as. So, Loop Hero. Yeah, so I know comparatively pretty little about the game. But I am a fan of this kind of thing, and it really caught my eye seeing it played, because you sort of go in a loop. Kind of like roguelite style. It seemed like a medium chill game to play that looked, rather interesting. I'm just gonna set a timer for myself here because I forgot to do that. If I can figure out how cell phones work. So yeah, I'm thinking just do a series of shorter episodes for Loop Hero. Depending on how long the runs are, I guess. If we end up having longer episodes, that will just be me physically cooking egg and putting it on my face. So, here we go. Read a little flavor text. My head's killing me. I remember only a skeleton with a staff up in the sky. This darkness was coming from him. Did he destroy everything around here? Just standing here won't do me any good, I guess. It's interesting games that have... Okay, this is also a stupid thing to say, but tutorial style things, you can see that it kind of gives you your HUD changes on the right there. It gives you some more information about the place that your cursor is, which is actually really cool. So that you have more information than otherwise. It probably will help us in a minute here. Changing the game mode. Okay, so I hope I'll be able to find some shelter before nightfall, if night still even exists without the sky, that is. Pay attention to the day progress bar at the top of the screen. New enemies usually appear at the end of the day. Continue your journey by changing the game mode, space, right click. Mode switch. Okay, so you have a couple of options. Oh, space or right click will change the mode. And then we have a bar up here. So as this fills up, the day will progress, and then at the end of the day, the monsters spawn. Pay attention to the day progress bar at the top of the screen. No enemies usually appear at the end of the day. Clicking. Continue your journey by changing the game mode, space, right click, and switch. A living ball of slime. Quite a nuisance. They digest anything they can. I remember this creature. Maybe I just need to freshen up my memory, and everything will go back to normal. So most things are done automatically, as the player can't affect them directly. Press anywhere to continue. So your dude sort of fights on his own. And then, yeah, as you can see as we go, we'll pick up items and things which we can slot into these different inventory spaces for our character. He was just talking about the weapon. So I think I remember there was a grove nearby. Are these even my memories, or do they belong to that slime? That's interesting. I don't want to get too much into narrative stuff here, like narrative structures and tendencies, but memories are interesting. There's a handful of interesting media that talks about narrative, like memory narratives specifically. I think the idea of having memories that aren't your own memories is we see it occasionally, and very rarely is it done well, probably. But I mean, if you can think of specific examples, that would be cool. Drag the card to a suitable space to remember the land. Okay, so we will be putting... This is the only suitable space. That was a little bit sarcastic. It's obviously telling us where to put it, but... so we'll be placing... Gotta right click, okay. We'll be placing stuff on the map. We're like building it up as we go, as we remember. Oh, and we can see that we spawned a little... I was gonna say it looked like a cat. It's a rat wolf. Living has a soul. A forest rat wolf. It was right. I was right. Sorry. Gosh, I should have changed to one of the other font types apparently. Some emotional stress, a few vivid images, and a bit of adrenaline, and I'll forget it all like a bad dream. I mean, I'll remember it all like bad. Dang it. Good timing, nobody heard that. Okay, new sword. Oh. Okay, cool. So the old one just disappears. So you can't well, I guess I didn't try taking it out. No, you can't take things out once you've equipped them. So anything that goes in here is dead. That was not quite right. Anything that goes in here, we will not have. Obviously, you're just coming back. I moved my camera. I was like right over the stuff that I was talking about, which is really stupid of me, but I only have one monitor, so it'll just be whether or not I realize it, I guess. Hopefully nothing too interesting ends up on the left side of the screen here. Okay, so as you probably already noticed, you can get new items and cards during battle. Some items have unique features, as do most of the cards. By hovering over an item or card, you can inspect it and its properties. Equip a new card, place your cards on the map to continue. Okay, so we got a rock. I should not have put that at the center. But that did give us some stuff. Rocks of wood. And we'll walk a little more. So, that chicken sounds a lot like the original the Nintendo 64 Zelda games. Retreat to the camp. So I guess you will decide, and I do recall this, you get to choose when the run ends, or I'm assuming you get murdered. Sorry, I have the hiccups. You either die or you choose that the run is over. So you can retreat almost any time. Special animation will let you know when it's safer to do. So if he's running, it's a good time to run, which I'm assuming it is now. Okay, so looks like we have finished at least that portion of the tutorial, and now we get to build a camp, build a campfire. So this is kind of like, okay, it's kind of like our space that we can use. Okay. So we're done, in theory, with the tutorial. So there's an interesting element of building here. Like you're building a camp, and you'll choose where those go, and I'm curious to see if where you choose to build those has impact on, like, you know, if you put the herbalist hut next to the field kitchen, does that different from if it's near the smithy? You know, that kind of thing. if it's like a sim type as well. There's that cool guy. Hopefully we get to see him soon. See him soon. The design on the kind of thicker floating skeleton is really cool. Okay, so this is again where the memory comes in, and I will point out some obvious stuff here. The path is different, but because of the game, like, it's kind of a memory loop game, it looks like a completely different place, and it's empty again. Okay, so our character's got a little bit of a savior complex, which is common among protagonists. We will hopefully kill this quickly. Oh, and you can see that we actually lost our sword. Let's pause for a sec. I'm gonna put this where we don't have a lot of enemies, maybe like here. Because this will spawn, if you look over on the... Yeah, it spawns a rat wolf every 2 days. So my strategy right now is going to be kind of just to split things up. But I also wonder if we even need to put these down. Reduces the maximum number of spawning enemies on the tiles around it. So if this reduces the number of enemies that spawn, we probably want to put it somewhere where it will touch the most tiles. So we've got 5 there, 5 here, 4. Let's put it here, and we'll maybe try and stack up our bigger enemy stuff over there. Okay. We've got another fight, and I can kind of look at these. So I'll pause again just for a moment. We've got groves. This is more trees. We probably don't want to put it right by the other grove. I actually wonder if we have to put any of these down at all. If it's like required, you know. Oh, you know what? It's this bar underneath the day is the map completion. You can see that these sort of have little bits. That's a silly way to put that. They have little like indicators. I'm assuming that's how much space they will fill up on this bar, and we want to fill the bar up so that we can fight the boss. Okay, so maybe we'll put in another grove. I kind of want it over here. Adds vampires to battles on the tiles around it. So I'm gonna put this guy over by the lighthouse. The lantern. So that may reduce our... I'll start moving again here. That'll hopefully reduce the number of vampires that we get. Oh, actually, that might have been stupid because we have slabs. I guess we'll find out. Causes anything to be totally forgotten. Okay, so that's like a little wipe that we have available to us. I think stacking these up is better. Yeah, 5 HP for each adjacent rock or mountain. So sticking the rocks and mountains together will give us... They're better as a range. That's hopefully, I'm guessing, is similar here with the meadow. Heals 2 HP, I think it's said every day. Yep, HP per day. So the more meadow we put together, that will help us to generate more HP. Okay, so this is already a really horrible situation. Spawns a skeleton. I'm gonna put this here. I don't know. I feel like putting things on the board at all is just a bad idea. But let's walk and we'll find out. This will give us more vampires. Maybe I'll put it somewhere that we don't have anything spawning right now. And we'll see what we get from there. I got a stick, I think. Branches. Okay. So we are not doing awesome in this fight. Hopefully, let's pause for a sec and give our... We'll fill it out a bit here. This was probably a bad idea. but I'm gonna hold off on that Oblivion card for now. But if I had to guess, well, we're not very far in this game, but I will probably end up destroying one of these. Treasury. Let's just check this out. Did I put this here? Of course I did. You put everything on the map. Gives a random basic resource after placing anything on an empty tile around it. Must be surrounded by empty space when you pull it. Okay, so it's like a little boon? I'm gonna put it here. I'm assuming it's gives a random basic resource after placing anything onto an empty tile around it. So when you put things near it, it gives you random bonuses. So, it could be good. This was dumb because it will give us multiple rat wolves and they'll sort of spawn on top of each other before we can get back to them. So we should probably have split them up. Oh, cool, little dialogue. He looks kind of like David Bowie, but also David Bowie mixed with like Robert Pattinson from The King, which my wife loves to talk about how bad his hair is in that movie. So, a vampire, where are your lands? If your farmers need help, I would be glad to offer it. No more lands, no more flock, only hundreds of years of emptiness. So, he obviously, our character understands that vampires are the top-ish of the food chain, probably below what I'm assuming is the Lich. As is evidenced by him saying, where are your lands? He understands that the vampires are clearly in charge. Save yourself while you still can. Your mind is easy to trick, but you can't trick my hunger. So the vampire's like, run away, and he's like, wait, I have more questions. The vampire's like, you better leave. And he's like, nah, and the vampire's like, alright, I'm gonna have to eat you alive. That's right, I'm doing this not for just myself, but for everyone in the name of the greater good. So be grateful for my hard work and just let me bleed you dry. Yep, so we basically walked into this horrible situation, and this vampire is probably... I'm so stupid. Holy cow. Okay, so we've actually been getting a whole bunch of stuff that we're just not using. That's my 15-minute timer. That's not even going to be close to long enough. So we'll just play until this is finished up, and we'll know about how long the runs will go, and that's probably going to determine close to how long our runs are going to be. This one too. Just pale shadows of the former selves. He wasn't joking about the hunger. Even the creatures around him were imbued with the power to drain someone else's life. So let's pause for a sec. As I was saying, I am not doing an awesome job of remembering that I have items over here. I only for one ring slot. So the question here is defense or attack speed going to be better for us? I think defense right now, because we're sort of, I don't know where our health is. Oh, here it is. Sort of screwed on health right now. So maybe getting a little bit more defense is the right move. Oh, this is just a straight up upgrade. So that'll give us more damage and defense. I think I'm going to start us up again. I'm going to hold on to the Gladius. It's just because it's considerably more damage than we're seeing with the polearm. Yeah, you can see that we're actually playing more or less well now. That might be a stretch, but we're doing more damage, and the faster we kill them, the less damage we'll take overall. So I'm going to pause, put the meadow down. That helps with health. Yeah, okay, so every day we'll heal more based on how big our meadow is. And we'll also want to start putting some stuff over here. Yes, okay, cool. So that did work. That gave us some bonus stuff. We got a new day, which healed us a little bit. I'm gonna pause. Well, I mean, we can still go. This vampire's probably gonna slaughter us while we fight here, but... Shield. Oh, okay, so it pauses while we're over here on the right. So I can equip things while we fight, and it pauses it for us. Nothing better, so I guess we'll just continue on. We are slashing considerably faster than we were. sorry, I dropped my pen. I actually can't find it. In an ideal world, we'd get a little bit more health here, or like health steal. Just pause. Counter. Counter sounds like something we want. Attack speed. Let me look at the other ones first. Evasion. Damage and evasion. Damage and defense. Defense and counter. I think I'm going to go defense and counter for now. Ooh, and yeah, then we can use this as well. It's kind of similar damage, but it also gives us some more counter. So maybe a counter build will help us out here. Okay, so I actually think I'm going to trash one of these. Because that's... I mean, slime's not bad. I try getting rid of this grove. Yeah, so that killed one of the dudes. It's giving us a bad time. Okay, so we'll probably die here, if I had to guess. Yep, I was right. We did die. Okay, so that I think gives you sort of a general idea for how the game is going to work. I'm definitely interested in playing some more, so we'll have more gameplay of this on the channel. Yeah, that we did really bad, I think, is kind of the consensus, but I think I'm getting a sense for what we did wrong in that we did not pay attention at all to what we were getting items-wise until way too late. We're going to lose a whole bunch of stuff, so thanks for watching.